Hey guys, what's going on? Jam here, and in today's video, Bitcoin is testing a very important downtrending level of resistance that we've been watching here for the last 6 months or so on Bitcoin, and actually, surprisingly enough, it looks like Bitcoin might be about to break it, and honestly, based on what I'm going to be showing you in today's video, it might be happening today. In this video, I'm going to be showing you what the resistance level is, I'm going to be showing you how Bitcoin is testing it, and I'm also going to be showing you all relevant technical and fundamental factors going into whether or not Bitcoin is going to decide to break bullish here. By the end of this video, we're going to come to a prediction about whether or not Bitcoin is going to actually break to the upside here, and I'm also going to be showing you what's the trade. I'm going to be showing you the bullish trade and the bearish trade because there's one for both sides. And by the way, guys, most of the ideas formulated for this video actually came out of something we just started over in the first cohort, the coffee and crypto morning live streams. I've been looking forward to starting those for quite some time over in the first cohort. You guys have probably heard me talk about it a lot. We just started them. We live streamed for about 30 minutes over there. I was talking to Paranoob and Rufio and Craig and a few others over in the live stream. We had a lot of fun. We're going to be doing about 3 to 5 of those every morning, every week. So if you guys are interested in getting access to those morning live streams, that is in the first cohort linked down below. More on that at the end of the video. But before we get to that, guys, we have to go ahead and do the video. So without much further ado, guys, let's go ahead and dive right on into it. Oh, and I forgot something. Make sure to like the video and hit the subscribe button for the YouTube algorithm and for the continued growth of the channel. Looks like we're going to hit 30K subscribers today. Thank you very much. My fire alarm's going off. There's a fire in another dimension or something. I don't know. Okay, well, that was weird. Let's go ahead and dive on into it, guys. I'm sorry, guys. I had to compose myself there for a second. The fire alarm going off was pretty funny. Anyway, guys, what I want to show you in today's video was this downtrend of resistance. I'm not one of those YouTubers who's going to make you wait until like 73 minutes into the video to show you the downtrend that I'm talking about. It's this red downtrend of resistance right here. And you might be saying to yourself, well, Jeb, Bitcoin's not testing that. Oh, but you're wrong because we're looking at the log chart. Guys, if we turn off the log chart and we go back to the auto chart, we can actually readjust this downtrend and we'll find that Bitcoin is in fact testing it. And guys, like I said, this is something I realized during the first cohort live stream. I'm almost always on the log chart and sometimes it slips my mind to check for the same pattern on the auto chart. And because I did that during the first cohort live stream this morning, someone pointed it out. Now I see it and I realize, oh, wait a minute, guys. Not only is Bitcoin testing this shorter-term downtrend of resistance, it's testing a very long-term one. And because it's doing that, there's a chance we're going to break it. Now, look, guys, we've tested this downtrend of resistance many times. We established it up here. We tested it right here, and we tested it several times over here. Small point, by the way, Bitcoin during this time was actually in a bull flag based on the 200 and this downtrend right there. Just something I noticed. But at the same time, guys, Bitcoin rejected from this downtrend of resistance every single time. We rallied 45% right there, and we still rejected from it, unfortunately. But, guys, something interesting is happening this time. Bitcoin isn't rallying up to the downtrend of resistance. This time, instead of doing that, we traded sideways into the downtrend of resistance. The reason that's interesting is because Bitcoin exhausted a lot of its bullish pressure when it was rallying to this downtrend in the past. This time, though, guys, Bitcoin's been trading sideways. Those bulls, they are feeling good. The bulls over here had just run a marathon all the way up here to this downtrend of resistance, and by the time that they really needed their energy the most, they were exhausted. But right now, guys, Bitcoin has not been moving very much. Bitcoin has been trading sideways, and because it's been trading sideways, we have a lot more strength, we have a lot more ability, we have a lot more potential for Bitcoin to actually have a bullish breakout here based on the technicals that we're showing you in today's video. I did not mean to do that. Professional YouTuber. Anyway, guys, so that's the long-term look on things, but there's some things I want to show you on the short term as well. If we go down to the 15-minute chart, yes, the 15-minute chart, we're going to see something interesting, and, you know, it's funny because I was planning to show you and talk to you guys about how Bitcoin very well may be breaking out here on the 15-minute chart, and it looks like it's doing it right now. What I was going to show you actually shows up a little bit better on the 1-minute chart, and over the last 2 minutes, it's done it while I was recording this video. But, guys, on the morning live stream, I was telling people they're watching the morning live stream that Bitcoin has this kind of uptrending curve of support right here, and we have this downtrending level of resistance sitting around 7,560. And I was talking about how there's a pretty good chance that Bitcoin breaks bullish here because it looks like a bull flag to me. And right now, Bitcoin is trying to break bullish out of it at the very time of recording this video. Remember, it takes 2 to 3 hours to produce these videos. Bitcoin looks like it was breaking bullish, and it's actually moving to the downside now, unfortunately. And guys, as you can see, a lot of the volatility is returning to Bitcoin. We're currently still sitting above that little uptrend of support right there. But guys, the point is, down here on the hourly chart, as you can see, Bitcoin has rallied right here, and we've kind of started trading sideways in this sort of bull flag pattern, which is really funny because, like I said, on the auto chart, we're right below this downtrend of resistance. It makes sense that Bitcoin over literally the last 3 minutes while I'm recording this has rejected here because we're testing one of the most important levels of resistance that Bitcoin has right now. So it's not really surprising that Bitcoin is rejected. But the point is that Bitcoin has had a very strong bullish rally here over the last 3 days or so, pushing us up to that level of resistance and giving us a chance to actually test it. One more thing I want to show you guys is on the daily chart, we've seen volume declining for quite some time. It shows up even more prominently on the weekly chart because, as you can see, the volume actually has a 20 moving average going through it. And as you will notice here, Bitcoin's volume has been declining very quickly over the last 6 months. We've had a lot of volume fall off, and that's important, guys. Big part of the reason why that's important is because of the pattern that we're in. Guys, if you're in CT2A, shameless self-promotion, then you will know what this pattern is right here. It's a falling wedge. It's a pretty simple pattern, and it's actually a very powerful one because normally falling wedges, they break to the opposite direction of which direction they're pointing in, and they're characterized by their declining volume. Guys, we're looking for a bullish breakout here on Bitcoin. The falling wedge that we're in right now is indicating that that very well may be what's about to happen. And also, guys, another thing, down here on the hourly chart, I want to show you this too. Bitcoin set a higher low on the daily chart and on the hourly chart. This is pretty significant because we haven't seen this happen very much in the last few months. Bitcoin had a low and a higher low. Guess what, guys? That is bullish, and I'd like to see Bitcoin maintain a low above $6,900. If Bitcoin sets a lower low below $6,900, then I would be very interested to see the bearish case. But for right now, so long as Bitcoin is holding this higher low, I'm feeling all right on Bitcoin. Now, guys, I'm going to say this right now. I need to maintain my neutrality on this because Bitcoin is trading sideways right now. We're below resistance and we're above support. Bitcoin has not decided if it's going to go bullish and start a new uptrend or if it's going to go bearish and start a new downtrend just yet. We haven't decided. So since Bitcoin is neutral, we need to remain neutral and make sure that we're looking at the bullish and the bearish case. I want to just add this as an aside because there is a bearish case, and I will be briefly touching on it later on in today's video, but I want you guys to understand there's not just a bullish case here. There is also a bearish case, and although I'm starting to lean more bullish, am still maintaining my neutrality, and I'm not in a trade just yet. We'll talk about that in a minute. Before we do, though, there's more levels of support that I want to show you that Bitcoin is currently sitting above. I did not mean to draw that. Over here on the weekly chart, if we bring up our moving averages, what we're going to see is that Bitcoin is still above the 200 weekly moving average, and on the monthly chart, we're still above the 50 monthly moving average. Both of those are more or less 4-year moving averages, and as you can see, they're both providing support around $5,000. We've talked about that in a previous video, which, if Taylor remembers, will be linked right up here. And also, guys, out here on the monthly chart, we're looking at the 20 monthly exponential moving average, providing a level of support for Bitcoin, and January anyway is looking to be the second green candlestick month that we've seen ever since we started this new downtrend. We saw a green month over here in October, but it's looking like we may be about to see another one in January. Very early on, we can't really tell just yet, but I'd like to see this maintain green, and I'd like to see Bitcoin stay above the 20 monthly EMA because it's a very important level of support, as we've discussed in previous videos. Also, guys, check this out. This is something I've been looking at as well. The Bitcoin shorts are declining again. You know, a lot of people are arguing that we're bearish. I've made a lot of bearish arguments lately, but why are the shorts still declining? Why are the shorts slammed to the floor? Why are we sitting at 3,800 shorts, guys? That is the lowest amount of shorts on Bitcoin in history. At the same time, guys, keep in mind that the longs are falling, and they're falling relatively quickly, actually, but at the same time, guys, it's really interesting that the shorts are this low, and it makes me wonder, are the masses right? Is the market sentiment right? Is the mass psychology right? Are people actually not feeling that bearish on Bitcoin anymore? Are they actually seeing what I'm seeing and seeing that falling wedge and seeing that Bitcoin is trying to break bullish and seeing that Bitcoin is testing resistance and seeing that 2020 is going to be a great year technically, fundamentally, regulatorily, etc.? Are people starting to realize that? Are people starting to get bullish again? Are people starting to go long again? Because I'll be honest with you guys, this is looking to be a good year for Bitcoin. We have a halving coming out. Back to launch last year. We're seeing a lot of growth in that. The regulatory landscape for Bitcoin looks like it's going to be getting a lot clearer this year. Pretty much every fundamental under the sun, even ones that we didn't talk about in yesterday's video, are improving. The Lightning Network's getting bigger. Development in the cryptocurrency space and on the YouTube space for the cryptocurrency space is continuing to develop as well. It's a new year. It's a new decade. It's a new dawn. It's a new day. It's a new leaf. People are turning over a new leaf and they're realizing, hey, look, Bitcoin just entered the 3rd decade of its life. It just turned 11 years old. There's a halving coming up, tax season's coming up, things are looking at, we're moving back into the summer. Bitcoin has been trending to the downside here for quite some time. It looks like to me that Bitcoin wants to start trending to the upside again, and I think based on what I'm seeing on that shorts chart, that people are starting to agree with me. I mean, also look at this. This isn't something that we've seen happen in quite some time. We're seeing higher lows on the RSI. We saw one low, a second low, and a third low, and they're all higher than the one before it. That is a very good sign. That's not something that we saw happen a whole lot in the last 6 months, but now we're seeing it again. That RSI is starting to trend to the upside. So guys, what's the conclusion here? Here it is. Bitcoin, once again, is at a long-term decision point. We're trying to decide if we're going to go bullish. We're trying to decide if we're going to go bearish. And let me tell you something, guys. Just because I've been focusing on the bullish argument in today's video does not mean, by any stretch, that there's not a bearish argument. There is still a case to be made that Bitcoin is going to $5,300. I want to make that very clear, and I'll show you that here in just a second. But, guys, I'm personally starting to feel quite a bit more bullish. I want to see what Bitcoin does here. I'm not entering a trade until I have seen Bitcoin break that downtrend of resistance with volume, with a significant move to the upside, and hopefully with a level of support being tested following that breakout to confirm it and lock it in. When Bitcoin does those things, I will be long again, and I'll start talking about a new bullish uptrend. Until that happens, though, I have to maintain my neutrality, and I have to make sure you guys understand that just because I'm talking about the bullish factors here does not mean that there aren't bearish ones, because there is an argument to be made that Bitcoin falls back below $6,000. At the moment, Bitcoin is deciding which of those arguments it's going to follow through on, and at the end of the day, sometimes that's what technical analysis is about, is saying, if we go bullish, this is what's going to happen, and if we go bearish, this is what's going to happen. I've shown you the bullish case, and I've shown you the bearish case in many other videos. At this point, it's time for you to choose. It's time for you and me to continue watching the market and decide which direction we think the market's going to move, prepare for that one, and also have a contingency plan for what happens if Bitcoin decides to move in the direction that we're not prepared for, and that's what I'm about to show you before we wrap the video out here in the What's the Trade segment. So what truly is the trade here, guys? If Bitcoin is going to move to the upside, we're going to see a break of this longer-term downtrend of resistance. That would be very bullish. That would be very good. If Bitcoin does that, I want to see Bitcoin rally to at least $8,200. Why $8,200? Well, because if we go into the log chart and we readjust to show the downtrend that we're more accustomed to here on the channel, that would be a break bullish above that downtrend as well. And that would also be a break above the all-important and critical 20 weekly exponential moving average. If we see Bitcoin break those two levels, the log downtrend as well as the 20 EMA on the weekly chart, then I will be comfortable going into a long position for a very long-term trade with maybe 3x leverage or something really low. If we see Bitcoin do that, then I think we're starting a new uptrend with our raggedy little uptrending arrow here, and I would be expecting some kind of big return over the next 6 months or so. That's kind of a swing trade. That's kind of maybe a short-term investment, if you will. Point is here, guys, we need to see confirmation. That's the number one key element, because the time that your risk to reward ratio is going to be the highest is right after bullish or bearish confirmation. And I was just talking about that with our friend Craig over in the first cohort in the morning live stream. He was talking about how he made several trades and they all kind of turned out bad. And I told him, Craig, okay, well, there's a lot of things I could say here, but the most important thing that I think I'll say is this. In every trade you make, remember your risk to reward ratio. I don't care if it's a 30-second scalp. Do a risk to reward calculation in your head. Say, am I risking losing $10 but standing to make $70? That's the example I used in the morning live stream. If I am standing to have a 7 risk to reward ratio and you make that trade 100 times, boom, you're going to be in profit if you make that trade 100 times, because statistically it's in your favor. So if you make that trade 100 times, or on the other hand, if you make 100 different trades with a high risk to reward ratio 100 times, in general, you're going to be in profit. And the place with the highest risk to reward ratio is right above bullish or bearish confirmation, depending on whether or not you're going long or short. That bullish confirmation zone is sitting around $8,200 to $8,500 right now. So if you're going to go long, that's where you'd want to enter, and the stop loss would be somewhere a little below 8K. Price targets for that trade are kind of to be determined as the market moves. That's so far out in the future, it's hard to give you an exact price target. On the other hand, though, guys, like I said, there is a bearish argument right now, and that bearish argument would be if Bitcoin makes a lower low below around $6,900 right here, then we're probably going to be entering a new downtrend. And if we do, guys, the entry position for this one is a little bit more hazy. It's not exactly sure, but in general, especially if Bitcoin makes a lower low down here below $6,400, then we're probably going to 5.3, testing that 200 weekly moving average, and then we'll bounce from there. So that's about a 10%, 20% short that you can make as well. I'll go ahead and show you that. If you were to enter at $6,300, then that would be about an 18% return. Throw some leverage on there. You can make 60, 70, 80, 100% return, depending on how you trade that. So guys, those are the two trades that we're looking at right now for the longer term. I hope you got some good value out of this video. I hope you've understood my argument, and I hope you guys enjoyed. Tell me in the comment section down below what you thought. Is there any feedback that you'd like to give me? How does the microphone sound? Again, any audio engineers out there, I'd love to hear some of your input on this. And guys, before we wrap it out, I do want to mention once again the first cohort. It's $25 a month to get access to our private Discord server, me making trades and calls, the Morning Coffee and Crypto live streams, the amazing community that we're building, and everything else that comes along with it, along with these videos down here in Teachable that will teach you some of the basics and fundamentals and wisdom surrounding trading cryptocurrency. Guys, I'm serious. There are groups like this that provide less, and they go for $1,000 a month. It's kind of ridiculous. I don't want to do that. I want to get to know as many of you guys as possible while also being able to sustain the business here into the future. And that's what the first cohort was built for, so that I can get to know you guys on an individualized basis. I'm going to try to know every single one of your names by heart. It's going to be a tall order because I'm hoping there's going to be a lot of you guys, but that's what we're going to try to do. Guys, I'm really looking forward to where this is going. I really enjoyed the morning live stream, and I want to see you guys join and get in on those live streams. So, guys, the link is down below. Look, if you're already in CT2A, you can join the first cohort. Shoot me an email or message me in Discord. And if you want to join the Discord server, you'll have to have a Discord, which I show you how to make in the first cohort, by the way. Shoot me a message, and I will give you a $25 Bitcoin rebate for the first month if you're already in CT2A. If you're interested in both the products, buy CT2A first so that you can get that rebate. There you go. And guys, look, you can cancel at any time. I'm not locking you in. There's no contract. There's no subscription period. If you want to leave, then you can leave. There's nothing stopping you. Try it for a month. If you don't like it, you're out 25 bucks. You will live, but I think you'll get a lot of value out of that month that you are with us. So guys, I'm really looking forward to seeing you guys join us over there. I'm really looking forward to seeing that community grow. There's about 60 members in there right now, and I want to see that continue to grow. So guys, if you're interested, the link is down below. If you have any questions, you can ask me in the comments section down below. You can shoot me an email at cryptojeb@gmail.com. That is my one and only official email, by the way. Or if you know me on Discord, you can ask me over there. But anyway, guys, that is pretty much going to wrap it up for today's video. But first, I do want to thank each and every single one of you for watching, as always, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.
Oh, I got a real good feeling.